Welcome to the Financial Freedom Masterclass series, designed to equip you with practical tools and kingdom principles to take control of your finances and build lasting wealth. As we step into 2026, our year of kingdom difference, this is the year to make a kingdom difference financially. It's time to break cycles, eliminate debt, strengthen stewardship, and position yourself to prosper with purpose. This series is hosted by Charlene Storr, certified public accountant, who will guide you with expert insight and biblically grounded financial strategy to help you move from survival to stability and from stability to growth. Be sure to scan the QR code on your screen to access the interactive workbook for today's session. Follow along, complete the exercises, and apply the principles in real time. Get ready to shift your mindset, structure your finances, and step into true financial freedom. Let's begin.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Difference in Managing Money. We talked about alignment, we talked about awareness. Today, we move into order, spending, and freedom, directing money with intention and wisdom. Clarity without direction still leads to frustration. Order is what turns clarity into stability. This session is about giving your money assignments on purpose. If you're ready to give your money clear assignments, come on in. Let's begin. So, session 3, order, spending, and freedom. Directing your money with intention and wisdom. I'm always telling children's stories, so let me talk about my boys for a minute. We went through a period where I had to leave them in aftercare. So even though I send them out to school every day with lunch and snacks, I opened up the charge account at school to allow them to get snacks if they want, because I was leaving them there until on average 6 o'clock in the evening. And as a good mother, I want them to have snacks and treats, etc. Until I got the first bill. Over $200 in 1 month, and did I mention that I sent them with lunch and snacks? And like a good mother, I'm laying it on them. What were you doing? What were you thinking? And my son very calmly, don't worry, Mommy, don't worry. When we get the snacks, Chef doesn't ask us for any money. Here's the cute thing. Every time I tell that story, people laugh. Some of the same people who act like my boys and charge things on their credit card and act surprised when they see the bill. That's what we call spending out of order. So, if you see yourself in my boys, amazing little souls they are, cash is spent, checking account overdrawn, credit card maxed, newsflash, your spending is out of order, and you are charging your future with your expenses today. We want to bring that into order. And this session is all about helping us go from awareness to order. Because once we recognize what it is we're actually doing, changing direction is where we bring about order. It's important to note that God values order and discipline. 1 Corinthians 14 talks about everything should be done in decency and order. And I said it before, that's not just church services, that's every area of our life. Matthew 6 says, money follows the heart. Where your heart is, your money will follow. Very often, when we're examining expenses, we're finding that individuals are saying to me, but I'm spending money here, I don't even care about that stuff that much. That stuff isn't as important as this other thing that they're trying to fix. But if we're not guarding our heart, as a matter of fact, I was blown away the first time I got the revelation on this, well, my version of a revelation. I thought it simply meant where the heart is, the money goes. But when I examine it a little closer, looking at the translations, it really is saying, direct your heart and the money will follow. And very often we let our heart, our desires run free. And then the money is playing catch up. Direct your heart. Determine what's important and command your heart to fall in line. And guess what? You're in charge. Order says heart first, money comes behind. Proverbs 21 talks about diligent planning. What is it you're trying to achieve? I had a teacher that used to say this to me, and so it kind of stomped on my brain. If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail, right? That's what planning or lack thereof is about. Order brings peace. Anybody ever been stressed about finances? And if your finances are in order, my friend who shared about being debt-free, she have no stress. She write those checks to her landlord, no stress. That's peace. Things are in order, right? You're stressed when things are out of control. When you feel like too much of my money is going here, because what invariably happens if you're overspending in any one area, another area is suffering. And that's what causes the stress. Yeah? So it's not so much that you're doing it. Because here's the thing, if you are earning and things are in order, it's okay to love yourself. That's what we call when we spend money on things, right? When we get thingsy. Yeah. I work hard, I deserve this. You deserve it. You deserve it, but you just want to make sure that it's in order. Yeah. Therapy, yes. Yes, doctor, it's therapy. Peace supports your freedom. Financial peace supports financial freedom. So we need to be intentional with our money. And the order I want to talk about today is giving your money an assignment. Let's slip in an engagement moment. If extra money showed up for you today, didn't expect it, $1,000, where is it most likely to go first? Spending, saving, giving, or debt? Those are the four options. You didn't expect it, 1,000 shows up. I'm just throwing a number out. If you're lucky, it's 5,000. Not so lucky, 100. Where would it go first? Spending, saving, giving, or debt? Just think about that for a second, because it's really your decision. And as you ponder that, I want us to talk about money flow. Because typically, we give our money, on average, 1 of 4 assignments. We're either giving it, we're saving it, we're living on it, off it, spending, or we're paying down debt. The exercise we went through earlier about, in the previous session, where you had the $100 and you broke it and then it just went, and you had no idea where it went. The solution to that is to tell it where to go instead of wondering where it went. How do we tell our money where to go? We decide every paycheck will be directed across these 4 assignments in the way we decide. And when we make that decision, we want to make sure that when we assign it, those assignments reflect our values and our priorities. So, if you've been spending on clothes, the question is that your priority? And if it is, it's okay. No judgment here. But what we're talking about is for those 4 areas of assignments, we're telling the money how much money to go there. If it's housing and a mortgage, we're going to tell our money up front how much is going to housing in accordance with our values. Now, I'll give you an example of an allocation, what an allocation may look like. And this is illustrative, not prescriptive. So of the 4 categories, let's say you have 100% of your income. Whatever you earn, you have 100% of it. So I like to talk in percentages instead of dollar values, right? So 10% for giving, because we already know it's a posture. 10% for saving. 70% on living. 10% on debt. Again, illustrative, not prescriptive. This is not a rule, this is just a reference. Based on what's happening in your life, you say, I'm single, I don't have any kids, I could actually live off 50%. So maybe I could spend more, I could give more. And if I don't have no debt, I don't have to worry about the 10%. It's okay. It's what is happening in your life and how will you be directing across those 4 core areas. As we mentioned before, giving reflects posture. And because we went through such great lengths at the beginning in session 1 to talk about alignment, and we're talking about the kingdom difference, that means all of you sitting in front of me, all of you watching online, are aligning yourselves with the kingdom. So it's not if we give. Our posture is we giving. So when we give, and what percentage we're giving, but it's not if we're giving. Because this alignment starts, first things first, by honoring God, and so the attraction begins. The things that we won't bother to pursue, we will attract instead. That's what makes this important for those of us that believe what we believe. The percentage is simply an option, right? So whether that's 10 for you or something else, your call. The next area, saving. Why is saving important? Saving really creates margin. When I mentioned earlier, referencing my book, Keys to Recovering from a Financial Crisis, and this notion that some crisis is optional. How many of you sick? Sometimes when we're sick, it's optional. Sometimes. Optional in the sense that you know you're eating what the doctor tells you not to eat. Or you know you were trying to be cutesy and it was 40 degrees this week for the first time in the Bahamas and you went out in a spaghetti strap because that was the dress you had already planned to wear and you just had to look good. That was optional, right? You own a car. At some point, well, I don't know if y'all figured this out, unless it's an electric car, you have to put fuel in it every week. So you acting surprised because the needle on E and all you have in your wallet is $5, so you stressing because you got places to be, car empty and you only got $5. That's an optional crisis. You own a car. Yeah, see Mr. Moss and Jamel. They will fix you up. They will fix you up real good. If you only have $5, you're only getting $5 worth of gas, though. Let's make that clear. Right, Mr. Moss? For that, you're going to have to give me $5 worth of gas. Right? What saving does, it creates margin for those things that you know are coming. So when we talk about assignment, you have to put some of that in there or else you will be uncomfortable during the month. Yeah. This is when we get to the point of the money running out before the month gone. Right? Put in a margin because the margin will reduce stress. You got to be somewhere. The car ain't gonna gas. You got to pick up your kids from school, and a wing and a prayer ain't quite gonna help. I had a buddy of mine. At one point, I worked at Resorts International. I can date myself now because they've been Atlantis for so long. You probably don't remember that they used to be Resorts International. I used to work for the motor pool. All of the vehicles owned by the company used to be serviced there, and so one of my benefits working in that area was a free tank of gas a week. Loved it. And anyway, I took my car in for them to check something for me. And the chief mechanic, he came back to me and he said, come here, I want to show you something. I'm like, what? He said, you see that E there? I said, yeah. He said, that means empty, not enough. I'm like, okay. But what happened is I had already run it down and I had one a week. So I wasn't quite there yet. So I was trying to see if I could push it so I didn't have to pay for the gas. That means empty, not enough, right? So get it right. Anyway. Margin also increases your option. Because if you have something on savings and something comes up that's a great opportunity and you want to be able to take advantage of it, how much you have available to you will determine whether you got to say, I pass, when in fact it may be something you want to do that's beneficial to you. Right? So make sure in your assignment some of that is going to savings. In our next session, we'll talk about investing. But savings, I like to call your first line of defense. Because savings is for the things you know are coming, putting fuel in your car. In our environment, water bills are paid quarterly. You know that coming. You have your kids in school, and the fees are due at the end of every quarter. You know that's coming. That's not an emergency. That's not a surprise. That's coming. So you're putting some aside now. You know your birthday coming up, right up there with what outfit you getting and where you going to dinner. You got to license your car. You know it's coming. And while you're at it, the insurance will be due just before that. You know it's coming. So that's part of what the savings is doing. You're holding some of it back for those things. And then there were the things you couldn't resist. Can I talk about my kids again? Of course I can. I spend most of my money on them. That's why I end up talking about them, right? I have insurance. Thank you, Lord. But you know, even with insurance, you need a copay. I went to the emergency room more times than I should have, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I went there one night, and the nurse saw me come in, and she said, Miss Storr, how you doing tonight? I'm like, man, something wrong. Why the nurse in the emergency room know my name? Emergencies. If you have children, and they're boys, and they're energetic, expect at some point somebody needs stitches for something. Thankfully, none of them ever had a cast. Thank you, Lord. Right? My daughter playing, and my daughter is the calm one. Trips up, they playing flag football in a routine PE class, trips on somebody's leg, got a knee to the eye. Lord, I thought she had lost her eye. Right? If you have children, expect that. The emergencies, you on your way to a meeting in the morning, and you're running late, doc, and your car don't start because it have a dead battery. Let that be an inconvenience, not a crisis. It's inconvenient because you have places to be, and ain't nobody got time for this. But at least you know, if you have it in reserves, hey, listen, get me a battery. As a matter of fact, if you really got it like that, you call the wrecker and say, listen, I'm catching a cab to work. You come here, get this car, put a battery in it, and then deliver it to me to my office. If you have money on reserve, you could do that. As opposed to, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't. And then the car laid up for weeks for a want of a battery. And listen, I'm trying to make it light, but this is real. This is people's reality, even people who name the name. We got to fix it. Savings does that for us. Savings also gives us an opportunity to earn more. We want to be saving so that we can invest, so that when we figure we had enough and we'd rather be on a pool deck chair with our feet up, we still have money coming in. Savings, you ain't ready for investments if you ain't saving. And anybody ever figured out that you will not get true wealth from your 9 to 5? It ain't gonna happen. But guess what? Your 9 to 5, you earn enough that if you save and invest, wealth is your portion. The word makes accommodation for it. Moving on from that one. I feel like I spent too much time on that. The other pillar is expenses, living. And we love us some us, right? So we want to live. Determine in advance what percentage of your income will be living. And please, don't let it be 100%. Because if you live in off 100% of your income, you are in crisis mode. That ain't kingdom. Back to the story of Joseph. I touched on it earlier. Famine coming. The interpretation, 5 years of plenty followed by 5 years of lack. The wisdom through the relationship, we talked about relationship and revelation, the relationship he had with God, says 5 years of plenty, 5 years of lack. So here's what you do. You save 20% of the grain. Financial analysts will think they came up with that, straight from the word, 1/5. He saved it, and what happened? We know the story well. The 5 years of plenty was followed by 5 years of lack. Any economic students in the house? Anybody ever figured out that economic cycles are coming? There's boom, there's decline, there's recession, there's recovery. Boom, decline, recession, recovery. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, it's in the Word. Yes. The Revelation, save 20% for the lean years, right from the Word. Don't eat all the grain. Don't eat all, save some. Because you don't know when lean come in. But whenever it does come, you're going to be ready. Right? And if I want to take that a step further, everybody heard the story, I'm sure, because I'm sure the grapevine was hot. You all hear what happened in? Pharaoh had this dream, and the interpretation is 5 years of plenty followed by 5 years of lack. But there are some people who clearly was eating all their grain. So when the famine came, what they do? They take their money, and they come to Pharaoh's palace and buy it from Joseph. Sell us. Here's our money. What happened when their money ran out? They sell their land. No use of going hungry, take my land. What happened when the land ran out? Make us your slave. Because we got to eat. Right. So lend it to us, and we can work for you for the rest of our life. Yeah. If we're not, biblical principle, if we're not lining these things up, and staying within margins, then we are setting ourselves up for financial disaster, is what it is. A step beyond crisis. Needs first, lifestyle next. And here's the beauty. When we get this right, it's not as if you can't have what you want, you know. we have to put it in order, right? I go on vacation every year, not on credit. I put it on my credit card. Somebody talk about points. Yeah. I'm a points fan. Right? I jumping ahead of myself. We ain't to that yet. No, hold it. If you organize yourself right, you could live. He's not saying deny yourself. As a matter of fact, he says have life and have it to the full. So having it to the full, I think, involves the cruise, the seeing the next side of the world, the outfit that makes the statement, it's okay. But what percentage are you spending, right? And onto the expense of what else that you need to do. And then there's the debt. And I kid you not, this is the area where most people struggle. I had a question offline that I want to bring to the floor, credit card debt, because for most of us, it's credit card debts and consumer loans. Housing debt does stretch some people, and it happens when you let the bank tell you how much you qualify for, right? That's not the question you want to ask when you go to the bank. You want to walk in there. We're talking about staying in the lanes, assigning percentages. Of the 100% of income that I earn, I want this percent to go to housing. And that percent includes the mortgage, the insurance, maintenance, property tax. This is how much I'm assigning, because that's what we're talking about, right? Giving these categories assignments, right? If you say 30% is what I can afford and that allows me to do other things, including the vacation with my family every year, then that's what we do. Credit card debt. Now, this may take you off guard. I love me a good credit card. Very rarely am I walking with cash. But here's what I learned. The credit card company may be making money off you, they ain't making no money off me. I benefit nicely. How? Ask me how. I'm glad you asked. The credit card is not an extension of my income. The credit card is not my income source. The credit card is a convenience tool. So, when I walk in the supermarket to buy grocery, when I pull up on the pump of JML station to buy gas, when I book travel for me and my family to go on vacation, I am putting it on the credit card because it's convenient. It saves me from borrowing the money. As a general rule, I charge nothing on my credit card that I don't have the money for sitting in my bank that I intend to pay off in full at the end of the month. Here's the amazing thing. If you pay your credit card statement balance in full before the due date, 0 interest. 0, did I mention 0? 0. Yes. Absolutely no interest. Wow. And I don't take a credit card unless it has points. What do I do with those points? Cash back? Upgrades? Don't hate on me if you're all stepping on a flight that go in more than 3 or 4 hours and I sitting in business class. Don't hate on me. I probably upgraded with my points. And I'm ashamed to say it. Paid in full, before the due date, no interest. The credit card company on average gets from me the annual fee. And I then rack up so much points, I pay my property tax. I got a house. If I tell you what my property tax is, you all will raise an eyebrow. But I redo it and redo it without blinking. So don't envy me garden till you see the price of my water bill and you're prepared to pay the same water bill. Okay? Property tax, car insurance, house insurance, University of Richmond tuition. And when the points run up, I like big numbers. So I usually cash mine out. I could be very transparent with you all. I usually cash out my points twice a year. And on average, my cash back, which when you go and you assign it against your payment, it hits your credit card statement like a payment. I don't touch it unless I could get $2,500 or $3,500. I only charge on it, as a general rule, things that I was already going to pay because I already put the money aside. When we chose which school we were going to send our daughter to for university, we had already determined what can we afford to pay for university tuition. So when she called and said she needed books, we didn't factor that in. We were just waiting to know exactly what the amount is. Because when you fill out the application, if you look online, they will tell you how much they think it can be a year. So don't be surprised when you see the bill. When you got the house, they already tell you how much you have to pay every month. So don't be surprised when it's time to pay. When you, okay, the insurance may take you off guard, because God knows they go up every year. So that's a little tricky. Property tax, if you pay by March 31st, you get 10% discount. Why you pay it? Why you letting them run you down? Charge you late fees? You leaving money on the table? You owe it. As a citizen of the country, you have rights. As a citizen of the country, you have obligations. Meet your obligations. What God say? Is it right that we pay taxes to Caesar? What did he say? Give me the coin. Whose face on it? Give Caesar his stuff. If you don't like paying property tax, go and be a part of the legislation and change it. But until you get a change, pay the property tax, man. I'm talking about that today. Stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. Use debt as a convenience tool, not an additional source of income. Now, I did mention as a general rule, every now and then, something comes up that I didn't anticipate. There are emergencies, and I didn't have the money waiting to do that particular thing. So then I charged it, and I didn't have that cash readily sitting available to deal with that, so then I carried over to the next month. That means I've paid interest. It's a convenience tool, because if you didn't have the money sitting to do this particular thing and you need it done, by all means, use the credit card. Use the card. It's a tool, not an additional source of income. Did I say that enough? It's not an additional source of income. paid in full, by the due date, by the due date. If they tell you the due date is the 27th and you pay it on the 28th, you have to pay the interest.
Yeah.
Right? I use the bank proudly. Somebody got a benefit. Somebody got a benefit. Join me. Join me. All right? When we are straddled with debt, we become enslaved, and we ain't free no more. We ain't free no more. Right? We want to be free. But freedom requires intention.
Yes.
And when you give your money assignments and stay in those lanes, it's not about restriction, you know. You know, if you have to deny yourself something for a period to get what you want, it's not restriction. It's empowerment. I like that word, and that wasn't even on my slide. It's empowerment. Thank you for that. Right? Giving, saving, spending, and debt must be planned. It cannot be accidental if we're going to live in the kingdom difference in our finances. Engagement moment. Which assignment needs more order in your life right now? Which assignment? Giving, saving, spending, or debt management? Which one in this moment needs order? You're going to be aware, because awareness helps us to shift direction. Yeah? Which area? Down, or even if you're not writing, just ponder it and hold it in your head. When we know these things, we shift direction. Direction is where we build freedom. And direction works best when it is decided in advance. Don't wonder where your money went. Please tell it where to go. Determine in advance. From my regular salary, where will it go? What percentage to each category? And when I get those special payments, bonuses at the end of the year, or a windfall from something that you didn't expect, don't wait till you get it to wonder where it went, you know. Decide now. The next time I have an unexpected amount, this is where it's going. I'll tell you this quick story. My husband brought home a check the other day. Someone he said he loaned money to, and he didn't even remember. And when it came, guess what we were pondering? First fruit. Listen here, I was almost dancing on the roof. The only question was, how are we going to divvy it up among the pastors that serve us? That was the question. Not where it was going, because we were saying we pay in first fruit. And first fruit, I tell myself and I tell God, I know what this means. This means there's more money coming that I didn't know was coming.
Amen. Amen.
When income shows up without a plan, default takes over. Two common places where where this breaks down. The small mindless spending, we talked about that already. The dollar here, $5 here, $10 there that you've been thinking about. But equally important is those big ticket items where we overextend ourselves. The house we living in, the car we drive in, the school we send our kids to. Those big ticket items, if we haven't properly allocated the percentage for that category, we stress ourselves. It becomes very uncomfortable. I've got good news. You could decide to change it. Either you have to increase your income, or you have to find a way to shift those expenses. And beautifully enough, we already talked about how you get more income, right? How you attract the income by being excellent in your service. So, I repeat, we want to set spending limits by category. And as much as possible, particularly when it comes to savings, automate it. If you determine you're going to save a particular amount and you work in an organization where they will make the deduction and transfer it to a separate account, do that. Because it takes the discipline out your hand. I participate in our pension plan at work, 5% of my salary. Can I tell you I was never late with it? Do you know why? Because I never see it. They take it out before the money comes to me. I don't even count it. When I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with the money, that isn't in my calculation because I don't even think about it anymore. Every now and again, I call and I ask to see the balance. Oh, that feels good. Small, consistent decisions produce lasting results. A quick engagement move before we wrap up. Identify one assignment you want to strengthen, whether that's giving, saving, how much you're spending on your living costs, or debt reduction. One that you need to strengthen. And take these exercises seriously, because there's no value in spending all this time sitting in these sessions if you walk out of here and nothing changes. Unless you say to me, I'm perfectly happy with my financial situation. And I'm perfectly aligned. If that's the case, then thanks for hanging out with us for fun. Answer this question. What would change if I decided my assignments before I got paid? What would change if I decided the assignments to those categories before I got paid? Before I got the income that I didn't know was coming? What would change? Your homework, because I was given permission to give you guys homework. Choose one assignment, any of those categories, and decide one specific adjustment that you will make in this pay period. What adjustment would you make? One assignment. You don't try to change everything at once, it'll be overwhelming. Just one thing. What would you change? I remind you, order brings peace. Peace creates stability. And that stability is where we begin to enjoy financial freedom. Money is either directed intentionally or directed by default. It's important to ponder that. Do you know why? Because when we steward money wisely, we reflect the kingdom.
At Bahamas Faith Ministries, we believe giving is an essential part of our worship and our commitment to advancing the kingdom of God. We have provided several convenient and secure ways for you to give and support the vision. Here are 4 ways to give. Number 1, visit our website at www.bfmionline.com and simply click the Give button. Number 2, place your gift in the seed box at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center in Nassau, Bahamas, the place where God lives. Number 3, give by direct deposit in the Bahamas. Our bank is Bank of the Bahamas. The account name is Bahamas Faith Ministries. The account number is 135-000-0886. Our branch is Shirley Street, branch number 03157. After making your transfer, kindly email proof of payment to give@bfmionline.com so our finance team can promptly confirm and record your deposit. Number 4, give by credit card in person at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. Thank you for your generosity and faithful support. Together, we are fulfilling our mission to impact lives, influence nations, and advance the kingdom of God.
Thank you for joining us in session 3. Order is not about restriction, it is about freedom. Small, consistent decisions produce lasting results because the choices you make repeatedly shape the outcomes you experience. You don't have to change everything at once. Start with one assignment, one adjustment, one intentional step, because when we steward money wisely, we reflect the kingdom.
Thank you for joining us for this session of the Financial Freedom Masterclass series. We pray today's teaching has empowered you with practical tools and kingdom insight to strengthen your financial future. Don't forget to scan the QR code to download your interactive workbook and continue applying what you've learned. For additional resources to help you build financial stability and long-term wealth, visit us at www.bfmionline.com. There you'll find powerful tools, including Staging Your Financial Comeback by Charlene Storr and Money, Wealth, and the Kingdom Economy by Dr. Dave Burrows, along with other resources designed to support your journey. Remember, 2026 is your year to make a kingdom difference financially. We look forward to seeing you in the next time.